Hey, it's your girl Talitha, and we are live with another Wednesday night special, the review. We're trying out some new microphones, so we hope that you guys can hear us really well. And we are gonna go ahead and get into it. We're kind of tired. We have a whole lot of stuff going on, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to get this done before we get into the rest of our day. So we have been fishing around for movies like we told you guys. If you guys have any suggestions, let us know. Send us a post, comment on our Facebook page, or comment when we post on YouTube. So today we're trying something different. I'm actually going live from my personal page, Talitha, and then I'm going to share it to my Food for the Soul, because this is where we tend to kind of get a little bit more viewers on my personal page. And so we're going to start doing that, and then we'll upload it like a couple of days later to YouTube, and then you guys can see that as well. And if you missed it, and then leave comments and everything on there. And so our movie that we are going to review today is going to be the movie. It's called The Blackening. And I was hoping that Bobby would fill it, or would look up the information of who it was starring, so that we can talk about it. We actually watched this, I want to say it was Sunday, I think, Saturday, Sunday this past weekend, so that we can have a movie to talk about. And we were trying to watch this movie a few times, we just didn't, we weren't able to watch it, or we didn't watch it for whatever reason. And
we were trying to watch it a few times.
Yeah, we were trying to watch it.
I don't remember none of that.
Yeah, we were, because
I remember saying it the other day, but
no,
yeah, I remember her saying
no, we were
a preview once, but I don't remember us trying to watch it.
Yeah, we were trying to watch it a few times, and a couple of times we couldn't find it. And then before it was, we had to pay to watch it or something like that, and so we didn't get a chance to watch it. Yeah, we've been trying to watch it since last year. And so we finally got a chance to watch it, and I can tell you from the beginning to the end, I really enjoyed this movie. It was very different, because we don't tend to watch a whole lot of scary movies, and so it was kind of billed as a scary / comedy. And in my mind, I'm like, how can you make a slasher movie or a killing movie comical? Like, I never understood that.
Here's how you do it. You get you a great-ass writer.
Okay.
A great writer with a great ability to make things happen, with a wonderful set of skills and abilities and a wild imagination.
So who was the writer?
Dwayne Perkins.
So that was the guy in it.
Dwayne Perkins, I've seen him before in a few things. This dude is hilarious. He's a funny dude, man. Yeah. So let's see if I can pull him up. Right here. It's not a really good view probably, but anyway, dude is great. He's like the lead writer in the movie. And it was also starring Grace Byers, who I'm a fan of, because she's like in my age group. Her and her husband are great. Yeah. They're great actors, and they're both my age.
Okay.
So I love to see that.
Yeah. And then what about Sinqua, whatever his name is?
Oh yeah, Sinqua Walls, is that his last name?
Yeah.
He's from California, but his dad's from Africa.
Okay.
And Melvin Gregg is
never saw him before. The
new cat we've never seen before that we want to keep seeing.
Yeah.
I want to keep seeing Melvin Gregg. I don't even know what he's been in, man. Let's look. I know he's 36, and he's from Virginia, and he's 6'2". So that's great. I love tall actors. Cher is a movie he was in 2023. High Flying Bird, Story Ave, Freakish, Snowfall. That's one thing people might know. House Party, 9 Perfect Strangers.
I haven't seen
a lot of this, like the stuff he does, makes him look like he's a British actor.
Okay.
He's not. I'm saying, considering we've never heard any of the stuff that he's great.
And Jay Farrell.
Yeah, he's great. Jermaine Fowler, obviously.
Jermaine Fowler, Yvonne,
yeah.
Orgy. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes, and also I think Jermaine Fowler is one of the writers, and Jay Farrell and
from Insecure with Issa Rae. And so we thoroughly enjoyed the movie. And I'm saying that Bobby did not fall asleep, and we laughed from beginning to end in this movie. It was very cleverly written because they were able to talk about scary movies and the fact that a lot of black casts don't survive in the scary movies, and so they made it like really, really black. And so they got a chance to play around with what we as consumers or the audience think about movies when they have black casts, black characters, and you know, we might be yelling at the screen, telling them to run, or different things like that. And so it played out very, very well, very, very interesting. I wasn't able to tell what the storyline was. I kind of guessed a little bit, but the way they wrote it, you just kind of didn't know who was what and what was what. But they kept you laughing the whole entire time, and they kept you in suspense the whole entire time, like a scary movie should. And so we enjoyed it. I would say if you're into black movies, pretty much all black casts, I would say watch this movie. It was very fun, very interesting. Not a whole lot of, you know, it wasn't. It wasn't overdone sexually. It wasn't overdone black. It wasn't overdone super duper just trying to be funny for no. It just really was funny.
Everybody did their part.
Yeah, it was really, really funny. And so if I had to rate it, I would give it. I think I would give it a 4.5, man. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would enjoy it that much.
There's one thing that happened in the movie that was so great that I give it a 5.
Okay.
One act.
Okay.
It was one act. It was just the timing, the comedic timing of this act. I could tell it was not in the script, and it was funny as hell.
Okay.
And for this dude doing this, he gets that extra half. I was gonna rate about the same as you. But I'm just gonna let it go on there.
Okay.
And give it that because that was great.
Well, Bobby.
Great move he did there.
Bobby giving it a 5. So the Blackening. Go ahead and watch that. I want to say we were able to watch it on Prime.
Yeah, there's also a part 2 apparently. They've been talking about.
Oh, really? Okay, so it might be a part 2, y'all. And I believe it came out in 2020. I believe it came out in 2020. So go watch. Yeah, go watch that movie. Super duper duper funny. And then we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about the last place we went to eat. So yesterday, Tuesdays is our date night, you guys. We've been having a hard time keeping up with our date nights because we've been super busy and because we relocated. Sometimes, man, we just don't feel like going out, you know? We've been trying to get to the movies for the past 2 months and we still ain't made it there yet. But we decided to go grab something to eat and then watch a movie last night that we were going to see about whether we were going to review that today, but Bobby fell asleep, so of course we can't review it. It was really slow too. But we tried a place. We were going to go to Marco's Pizza, and we tried, and we'll maybe review that a little bit later. But we tried a place called Habanero something. Yeah, okay, I'm going to let Bobby talk about it. So we went to a place called Habanero. It was a Mexican food restaurant over here, close to kind of where we live. And I believe that they have different locations because I want to say that I went with my coworker in another location. So I believe that they do have different locations. I didn't look them up. But I'll let Bobby talk about how we felt about habaneros.
Well, basically, in a nutshell, this place is a steamy pile of buffalo done.
Oh, gosh.
Steamy.
All right.
I will say the portions are outrageous. I haven't seen a burrito as big since Florida.
Yeah.
And that burrito had me sick.
Okay.
That burrito was as big as a microwave.
Yeah, it was super big.
I smashed it. I could get off the plane. I should have done it. And I think I had anything skilled for an African girl. I was a fatty. This is whenever I was a major big bag. So, anyway, I was a major big bag at the time eating that burrito. But this burrito at this place was huge. And I got carne asada nachos. I will say this. It was the most tender carne asada I ever had.
Okay.
It's normally just about right above shoes. So, it was pretty tender. No, I was just on the texture, like as far as like the levels, like, all right, is it steak or boots?
Okay.
Footballs. It's always tender, but it just wasn't it's something about like I'm just saying this. I want our black people to understand and see this. Like, look out for like people that don't like you, like their mouth structures and everything, the way they look at you. Like, there's certain people I can tell just don't like black people. You know what I'm saying? There's certain Hispanics, and I'm like, I'm not pulling up to your restaurant and eating there ever again. Okay. I'm not gonna be like kind, all waited in line, all this stuff. Now look at your face, when I get that vibe, instantly gonna roll off.
Okay.
So, and I felt like we should have, because we both woke up feeling like we ate people this morning. Like our stomachs were just.
Yeah, it was.
There was nothing right about my stomach this morning or today at all.
My stomach didn't.
Junk,
my stomach didn't feel bad. I just we went to bed super early, and so that was the reason why I was up.
Even more the reason for us to be digested and ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is rough. I'm not doing it again, and I don't recommend anybody listening or watching to do it either.
Okay.
Save your money.
Yeah.
Go across the street and get your trash burritos. At least we know what they're on. You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't eat all of my burrito. I gave most of it to him. And so that's probably another reason why, he might be a little bit sicker than me. Plus he has more of a sensitive stomach. But the burrito was okay. I don't like lettuce in my burritos for some. I'd rather just have like a really nice burrito with the pico de gallo and the meat and the cheese and all that kind of stuff. And so they put a healthy amount of lettuce on there. So it was like half of the burrito had all lettuce and tomatoes, and the other half had the meat and everything. So I didn't, and it was super big, so I didn't eat most of it, and we spent a little grip on it. I was not, I kind of had to be okay with the fact that, okay, this is our date night, so we're going to spend this extra little cheese, but I really wish I had not, because it was not worth the money that we spent. To me, it wasn't. The size was, but it wasn't worth, the taste wasn't worth the money though.
It's like some of these places, like I say, I feel like they don't like you.
Yeah.
They just serve some like back of the cabinet, oh, it's been sitting out since 8 a.m. food to
maybe
like refried.
Yeah, maybe
refried beans. How many times can you refry these beans?
You can't.
Try to serve them to me.
Yeah, you can't.
Now, I know you didn't look at this. There's no way you looked at this soft batch of junk before you served it. There's no way you looked at this like before you put it through the window and said this is passable. Who was the QA there? Like, did nobody?
Bobby, a lot of these restaurants don't
people
have.
Just don't care. Like, they're like, oh, at my house I just eat off the floor, so I don't mind at the restaurant if you do. Like, no one wants to pay to eat food that seems to be swept off the back of the floor somewhere. Okay. Or behind the refrigerator. Like, this is what this food tastes like. Okay. There's no way you're serving this, dude. This is not acceptable.
Well, we decided to make the switch because we were supposed to go to Marco's Pizza, and then you were like, well, I don't know if we want to go to Marco's, so maybe we'll go here. So I mean,
this particular Marco's location has been a dumpster fire since we first learned about it. Very first time. Second time we went in there, a lady dumped more grease on that thing. Oh, I've never seen that. Y'all go on my Google. Look on my Google, look at the pictures, and see, go to Marco's Pizza Las Vegas, see the reviews, and look at the grease stain that this one pizza left in my seat on a 5-minute drive to the house.
Well,
I've never seen nothing like it, so I'm like, these people are careless in here. There's never anybody out there. And they got more pizza boxes stacked in the window than I've ever seen anywhere. Well, I'm not selling pies.
We're gonna learn one way or another what places in Vegas you should come visit and what places you should absolutely stay away from. So we're giving you guys, we're being the guinea pigs for you guys, making sure that it's hard. It's hard, and we rather cook at home. But for forks, I'm gonna give it 2 forks. Only the 2 forks I'm giving it for is that the meat was tender and the burrito was a nice size. I wish they would have put less lettuce in there. But I'm gonna give it 2 forks.
I'm gonna give it 1 fork.
Okay.
Because the meat was tender and the burrito was a nice size.
And the nachos were not a bad size.
Yeah, they weren't good. I don't know where those chips came from.
Okay.
Those were the hardest chips.
Yeah, and I didn't
They
have
were like pork rind or something. I don't know.
Oh,
weird. It's a nasty chip.
The way Bobby describes stuff, y'all, it's just
like... It didn't have like a good taste. It was like a nasty, over-fried chip.
Okay. And it wasn't anything like, who's on? Was it?
No, that was, them chips sauce good in there. Waiter good.
And so
I'm going back there this weekend.
Yeah, so we'll find another place. Hopefully, we'll be able to find restaurants we can review. Where we can give you a good review versus always having to give you a bad review about this doggone food out here. So I want to talk about just our review of the week of something going on in the news.
Man, that computer is loud as hell, dude.
Yeah,
it does it all day.
The computer is loud. Yeah, it's pretty loud. But what I want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys have heard, there was a Walmart shooting in Georgia, and it was a couple of weeks ago. This came out that I'm looking at April the 11th, and I'm not sure if it was that day that it was April the 11th or if it was the day, April 11th was the day after the shooting. I'm assuming it was the day after the shooting, but I don't know. And so I'm looking at the article, and I read the article before so I could talk about it, but it doesn't actually say that there was a motive. I haven't seen a motive yet, so I might have to do some more research. If you guys know and you guys heard the story, maybe you guys can let us know what happened. So anyway, so this Walmart employee in Georgia kills 2 co-workers and he injures the other co-worker in an after-hours shooting spree. So this worker by the name of, I want to say, I was trying to hope that he wasn't black, but I'm like, maybe. So he's 24-year-old Dwayne Uda. He allegedly exited the building shortly before the shooting, went to his car, got his firearm, and came back in, and it was a male acquaintance that was in the store, shot him, and then later on he saw a second acquaintance outside of Walmart, shot him as well, and then he went down the street to another place of one of the workers. It was her residence, and he barged his way in and shot her. So he shot a total of 3 people. 2 of the people died, and the other one is in critical condition right now, I believe, or he's in stable condition. So the people that he shot were 21-year-old Khalif Barksdale and 19-year-old Akila Clark, and they were the ones that died. And then Ryan Bradley was 29, and he's the one that's in stable condition. And then they said that he allegedly he fled, and then he shot himself, but he didn't die. And so, in Georgia. And so I kind of want to talk about it because I'm just not sure, y'all. I am not sure what is going on with people today. So it just feels like it's getting more and more and more sinister out here in these streets. Like for him to one, and it was after hours, so no customers and everything were there, and that was, I can't even say that was cool, but it was, better than having a store full of people. So apparently he had some type of vendetta or something against these 3 people that he shot. So he shot the people that were at work, and then for him to go to this other girl's place of residence, barge in there and shoot and kill her, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. So they were saying it wasn't really a shooting spree. They were saying that it was absolutely targeted, that he knew these people, he shot them for some reason, but in the article it doesn't say why. It doesn't say why he shot them. And so I just, again, am always going to say, man, pray for your people. Pray for your people. Be safe out here in these streets because anything can happen. You don't know if you're going to make it home from day to day over just bull crap, And
sad. This dude did this stuff over monster booty shit, probably, right?
Might have been,
Possibly.
Yeah.
And he probably had like a family member or something he could have reached out to or could have connected to.
Yeah.
But that family member was too Christian to deal with.
Right.
I'm just trying to get up, hear me out. So it's like, I don't like my brother and other family members who won't, I don't speak to, or they don't communicate with me because I don't follow that same guy. If your religion is telling you to disconnect from your people, you're in the wrong thing. I bet that dude had that same kind of story. He could have had that same kind of thing. Somebody could have been there for the dude to keep him from going and doing this.
Yeah.
And messing up all these people's situations.
Yeah.
Y'all sitting there and listening to stories and fantasies all day on Sunday and don't do anything as far as reaching out there to anybody because these kind of thing should not be cracking around your neighborhood.
It absolutely shouldn't. There should have been.
Weird, man.
There should have been some type of something, but a lot of times, you know, we don't.
No, I'm just saying. That's one story.
We don't get a warning, and people suffer in silence for whatever reason, or they can't control their anger for whatever reason. And so my heart goes out to the families who had to endure this, to the guy that, Ryan, to the guy that's in the hospital now, you know, fighting for his life in stable condition.
Right, sure.
No, Ryan is the last person shot that actually survived as of now. And so I'm going to follow that story too again, you guys, and find out exactly what happened and what would make somebody go into their place of work and shoot their coworker. It's just weird. It's just weird, man. It's weird.
Where is this account? Where are the people at? Like, why is nobody talking to you?
It's weird.
You just have headphones in all day and you just zoned out listening to dumb rappers
Yeah.
who are doing nothing, like getting advances from nobody, doing nothing with nothing,
Yeah.
dreaming and talking about a bunch of nothing with nothing, and you're listening to that and you just go off and just go do that.
Yeah.
What is your influence? What's that? What's going on?
So we are in talks with a couple of people to start doing some much needed dialogue around all kinds of issues, you guys, because we need it, man. I think that a lot of people might just have a lot of pent up anger, hurt, depression, all these things, and like Bobby said, there's no place for them to get it out. A lot of people can't afford therapy. A lot of people may not want to go to therapy. Sometimes it just helps for somebody to listen to them, for them to say something out loud, for them to listen to it back and say, okay, yeah, maybe that was stupid. Or, oh yeah, maybe that person didn't mean that the way I thought that they meant it, you know. And so we're going to be looking into doing some panels and different things during the summer so we can just start having some much needed dialogue. Like I said, with the way the world is trending today, you know, we're already a heartbeat away from like all out war, you know, with the government in different countries, and now having to have war in our communities with one another is just pouring more acid on more acid on more acid, you know, until, you know, we're burned out. We're burned out, and so we're going to be talking about that, but I just wanted to talk about that briefly, and that is it, you guys. I don't have
It's gotta be
anything else.
like real help, man.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about therapy, man.
Yeah.
Therapy, like it's not. You have to make a phone call and then like have to look online and find somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Make a phone call and wait.
Yeah.
For their availability. So
Right.
I'm trying to go to my PCP for an emergency.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
Or trying to go to the emergency for an emergency.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
It's
lot.
like, man, I sat here for 8 hours for them to tell me some junk.
Yeah. So we
This
need.
was an emergency.
Yeah,
So
we-
people need like real help, man. Like,
Right. We need more people that are available to lend a hand and to be able to just listen. So I know that there are a lot of organizations out there, and I think that it's best to just really start to highlight or help promote those organizations that will be there for you. We promote suicide organizations. How come we don't have organizations where
Like Boys Town.
yeah, people are
Is that
just,
the one that's on Santa?
I don't know.
Oh, there's an organization you took me to. Like, that place should be in every part of Las Vegas. There should be one of those. Next to my mom, they give back, man. And they bring back all these like ex-offenders and stuff.
Oh, real talk.
Real talk.
I think real talk or something like that. Yeah.
Real talk should be in every part of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
There should be one. There should be
Yeah.
like it should be like YMCA.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a really good organization out there in Las Vegas.
Everybody there is like there to not just collect a damn check. These
Yeah.
people are here to do work here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm here for 8 hours, and while I'm here for 8 hours, I'm going 8 hours with the things to help people. I'm just sitting in the office twiddling and,
Yeah.
you know, just sending out a few emails and doing whatever office checks do. These people really do work, so.
So if you guys have any organizations and you are listening to this or you listen to the playback, put them in the comments, and we will definitely start to help promote much needed places where people can get real help and they're not shooting up schools, or they're not, you know, having to defend themselves by killing somebody else, you know. So we just want to put that in the atmosphere, and hopefully we'll get that going. But I wanted to leave because I have this. I always buy every year. I do my goals, and then usually I buy a calendar that has quotes on it. Sometimes I'll post them, sometimes I won't. But I think I'm going to start ending our shows on Wednesdays with my quote of the day or whatever it is, just to let you guys know that you are not alone and to give you guys some inspiration. And so this quote today says you have three choices: give up, give in, or give it all you got. And so I would say I'm going to go for the latter. Sometimes it gets rough, sometimes it gets rough out there, y'all. Sometimes you're not having a bad day. Sometimes you take so many L's. Bobby talks about that a lot. When your point systems are so skewed, they're so unbalanced, where you go throughout the day and you're taking like 10 L's that day, and you want to come home and you're like, man, I just want to shoot myself because it's just not a good day. But if God allows you to wake up and see another day, you still have another day to make things pop, to make things crack, to pivot, to figure it out, to talk to somebody and ask somebody for help. And so that is my quote of the day. You guys be safe. If you like this, share it. If you didn't, still share it. And
nah, just be blessed, man. We'll talk about all that.
Yeah, well,
what is the difference between giving up and then giving in?
Giving up and giving in. I think giving up is walking away from something. So you give up, you're like, man, I don't want to do that anymore, I'm out. And then giving in might be selling out, or it might be, okay, well, shoot, they want me to do that, so I'm going to give in and go ahead and do it. That's not really my choice. I don't want to do that, but I'm giving in to whatever, society or my job or my marriage or just whatever. I'm going to give in. So I think that's the difference between the two.
Okay.
Yep. Or give it all you got, which is what I try and do every day, y'all. So we thank y'all for tuning in. Like Bobby said, be blessed. We about to go ahead and grab something to eat, and we will holler at y'all next week. We are out.